Hello, and welcome to the Wold Performing Arts Center here at Lynn University in Boca Raton, Florida. We're here today to talk about the first concerts of the 2025-26 season by the Lynn Philharmonia, which will be held Saturday, September 27th at 7:30 p.m. and Sunday, September 28th at 3 p.m. here in the Wold Performing Arts Center. With us today is the conductor of the Philharmonia, Guillermo Figueroa. Guillermo, the first piece on the program is the Symphony Number 77 in B flat major by Joseph Haydn, written in 1782 as a reach out for a planned trip to London. What can you tell us about this piece and why you programmed it?
Well, first of all, I love Haydn symphonies. We nowadays, rightfully so, idolize Mozart and Beethoven, but we seem to have forgotten a little bit about Papa Haydn. Mozart and Beethoven would not have been possible without the contributions of Haydn. He wrote 104 symphonies that we know of. There was a very famous fire at the palace where he was working, and many pieces of music were destroyed in that library. So some people speculate that they could have been even more than 104 symphonies. But these symphonies influenced Mozart and Beethoven greatly, and they would have not been what they were without the influence of Joseph Haydn. The symphonies are a model of form and clarity and perfection. They are charming, they're exciting, they're often very dramatic, but they are a great vehicle for orchestras to hone their skills in listening, in ensemble, in performing styles. So I think it's perfect for an orchestra of young artists, such as the Lynn Conservatory, for them to be trained. I'm very happy to have been able to program this symphony.
You'll be following the Haydn Symphony with the Le Corsaire Overture by Hector Berlioz, who is one of your very favorite composers. How does this overture express what Berlioz is all about, and what do you think it brings to the program?
Well, brilliance, virtuosity, and a great workout for the brass players, for one thing. Berlioz wrote this overture when he was convalescing from an illness at Nice. Um, and he was inspired by a book by James Fenimore Cooper, The Corsair, and gave it the title of that. It is, just like the name implies, the overture is dashing, fast, virtuosic, with great passage work for the strings and exciting material for the brass. In between there's a gorgeous, slow introduction that he then uses the same music in a fast manner in the rest of the overture. So it comes to a brilliant conclusion with brass flaring away, just like a lot of great Berlioz works do. He's always been a favorite of mine, and I'm thrilled also to have been able to program it for our concert here.
The weekend's concerts close with a work beloved by generations of audiences, the Fourth Symphony of Pyotr Tchaikovsky. What accounts for its appeal, and what do you try to bring to your interpretation of it?
The Tchaik 4 is undoubtedly one of the most popular and often played symphonies. There's a very good reason for that. It has all the hallmarks of the Tchaikovsky style that we've come to know and love. Brilliance of orchestration, exciting and gorgeous melodies, all combined with what I call, maybe unfairly, Tchaikovsky's trick. One of the reasons for his great appeal, I think, to people in audiences is that his manner of composing is very unlike, say, Berlioz. Berlioz would be very linear, whereas Tchaikovsky devises groups of phrases that he then repeats. So the repetition of these phrases makes it very comfortable for the listener to understand and appreciate something. He will do a beautiful four-bar phrase, which then gets repeated. And I think that accounts a lot for the familiarity that we feel when we listen to that music. It makes us feel comfortable, like we really are understanding what he is trying to say. But above all, it is the beauty of those extraordinary melodies that he manages to pull out of a hat, like almost no other composer. The slow movement is absolutely gorgeous and heartrending. and it's followed by a very cute movement, say, in which he showcases the strings playing only pizzicato, then followed by the woodwinds, and then the brass, and finally at the end he brings them together. This is not meant to be any kind of despairing of Tchaikovsky, but somehow that movement, especially the pizzicato part, always reminds me of Leroy Anderson for some reason. I don't know why, but it has that kind of almost silly charm, which is perfect in the middle of a symphony that is actually called the Fate Symphony. He has a blaring statement at the beginning of the work that is very dramatic, that has been linked to fate. And then he repeats that at the close to the very end of the symphony in the last movement, giving it a overall form of cycle from beginning to end. But great brilliance, a great workout, difficult workout for the students, but I am very confident that they're going to pull it off in great style.
Finally, what makes a good orchestra program, and what do you hope people who come to one of the concerts on September 27th or September 28th will get out of the experience?
First of all, I hope they appreciate the enthusiasm, the hard work, the talent, the great virtuosity of our amazing student artists. That's the main thing that I hope people get and appreciate, and make them feel like they understand what they have done to prepare this program. Preparing a program for a conservatory orchestra is a little bit different in my mind than if it were a professional orchestra. Here, the main goal, my main goal, is to teach, to make them learn the standards, the classic standards of the repertoire, to understand what professional life in an orchestra is, what they need to do once they would go out in the world. Therefore, our programs mostly cover the staples and the standards of the repertoire, because that's what they need to have as a core repertoire of their own in order to succeed in the real world. But they are doing really well. It's a privilege to be at Lynn Conservatory and be able to work with these magnificent students in this gorgeous concert hall. So I hope to see you all at these concerts. See you there.